Good morning, class, the receiving school students and teachers.
Good morning, Mrs. Watakas.
How are you all this morning?
We are very well, thank you.
I'm very well, just like you all. Thank you. You may sit down. Our previous lesson was on our responsibilities, your responsibilities in helping to improve family diets or family meals. Aloysia, if you can give us one of your responsibilities. We've had a look at that. Very good, thank you. Edward, if you can give us the other, your responsibilities.
Going to the store.
Okay, good. Now, there are two main responsibilities. They come under two words. Instead of us talking about all those that we do, they come under two responsibilities. If I can have Tricia, if you can tell us those two main words that the responsibilities come under.
Errands and chores.
Very good. Errands and chores. What are errands, Shane? What are errands? And Violet, I'd like you to get ready for chores.
Short trip somewhere to do something on behalf of somebody.
Very good, thank you. And Violet, chores?
Especially ordinary household tasks that have to be done regularly.
Very good, thank you. So those are our responsibilities. As a child, whether you are a boy or girl, you have a responsibility to help to improve your own family's diet. Okay, we will be looking at resources and facilities. Resources and facilities. Now, let's brainstorm on what resources and facilities are. Now, resources and facilities in here, we are talking about resources and facilities to do with food, and especially our diets, okay? These are to do with food, that is your daily diets, resources and facilities. Anybody who can tell us what you think resources and facilities are actually? And this is once again to do with food, that is actually our diets. Around resources and facilities. Okay, let's have Shane.
In a way, we look for our food.
Very good, thank you. And you can see we got two pictures there on the screen to help you what resources and facilities are. Okay, so we have picture of money and a drum oven. So those are resources and facilities besides many others that we have that can help to improve our daily diets. Our topic activity is going to be on identifying resources and facilities. We will all together try to find out the types of resources and facilities that we need in order to make whatever meal is being prepared and cooked a nutritious meal. And once again, you have pictures there to help you to understand what we are talking about in this lesson. Now, I have some samples here to show you. So let's see what I have. You have one already. You have seen already a drum oven. You also saw some bowls or dishes there. Okay, so I have, there's about 4 I have. And later on, I'll have someone to tell us which ones are for serving, which one can be used for serving, for preparing, and for cooking. Besides this, there are so many things that we need, okay, facilities to help us in cooking nutritious meals. So once again, I will have later in the lesson someone to tell us which ones can be used for preparing, serving, and cooking. Okay, let's see. Now, what are resources? What are resources? Anybody who can tell us what resources are? Thank you, Messi.
Equipment's needed to do something.
Okay, equipment needed to help us. Now, in here we are talking about cooking. So, equipment that is needed to help in whatever is cooked. Any answers besides what Messi has? Okay, so let's see what resources are. Resources in here, we especially talk about funds or money that can help you to purchase whatever you need, buy whatever you need, and especially in here we are talking about food. I'd like our class quickly have that written, receiving scores too. And it says money that a family needs to buy whatever food is needed. Now, facilities. Facilities. Helen, what are facilities? Very good. Things that we use. For Helen, if you could just complete your answer. You only said things that we use. I'd like you to complete it properly.
Things to help us cook.
Very good. Things that we use to help us in cooking. Okay, it says equipment for preparing, cooking, and serving food. Now, in actually having a nutritious meal, we have to have equipment for preparing. We also must have equipment for cooking and also serving. So in the preparation or cooking of a nutritious meal, there are 3 different stages that we have to go through, and that is preparing, cooking, and also serving the food to be eaten. And each of these different stages in cooking a meal uses different types of equipment. We have to use different types of equipment for preparing, for cooking, and also serving food. Now in here I will have someone to come, and the things I've showed you earlier, if you can come and show us which ones can be used for preparing, cooking, and serving. There are many things, there are many equipment there. However, I only have few. I'd like someone to come and do that for us just too longer. So preparing, what would you use from the things that I have there? You just show your friends. Just get it from there. Okay, so Tulanga has a knife and a peeler. Thank you. Prepare cooking. Cooking. Let's have a girl. Okay, we'll have you, Melin. Move quickly. Okay? So Melin has a pot. Besides a pot, there are many others that we can use. So pot for that, and we have a, okay? But there are many others like I have said. So once again, in cooking a nutritious meal, we have to go through 3 different stages, and that is preparing, cooking, and serving. And each of these different stages use different types of equipment to do that. Now, resources. Once again, it says money needed in buying store and market foods. Do we need money to go and buy food from the gardens? No. Now, for our friends out there in the rural areas, for you, you can just go to the gardens that you have at home and get whatever food you need from the gardens. Now, for your friends who live in the cities and towns, because they don't have a garden, they need money to go to the market to buy whatever food, garden foods that they need for that meal from the market. Now, we also need money, and it's also for our village students and also students who live in the cities. We also need money to buy store food. Store food is not bought with money by only those who live in the cities. Those of us who live in rural areas, we also need money for that. So with resources, when you have the money, then you are able to buy good food that can help you to have a nutritious meal or cook a nutritious meal. Let's see what facilities also help us in. Now it says kitchen equipment is needed in the whole cooking process. In the whole cooking process. Let's have Rachel, if you can tell us what we mean by the whole cooking process. You need a kitchen equipment to help you in the whole cooking process.
For the whole cooking process, that means for preparing, cooking and serving.
Very good. So when we see that part of that sentence where it says whole cooking process, it's talking about preparing, serving, and cooking. Now we have some more pictures of equipment that we can use to cook meals. Now, for those who live in the villages, instead of probably a gas stove or an electric stove, what could they use? What could you use? Yes, Trisha. Instead of a gas stove and an electric stove, what can you use in the village? If you are a student in the village?
Fire.
Very good. Fire. What else? What else besides fire? What else besides fire? I'd like you to think about that. What else besides fire? Yes, Doveri.
Drum oven.
Drum oven. Good. What else? Yes, Adrian. Fire, drum oven. What else?
Hot stones.
Hot stones. Very good. So those are some of the things. There may be many, but those are some of the things that you can use to cook if you are in the village. Now, what about pots? If you don't have that pot in the village, what would you use? If you don't have that pot in the village. Okay, let's have Tassie.
Clay pot.
A clay pot. Good. What else? Besides clay pot, let's have Patrick.
Bamboo.
Bamboo. Good. You can put your food in the bamboo and cook. Any other ways? Oven, bamboo, clay pots.
Leaves.
Very good. So those are some ways, some things that you can use to cook if you don't have a pot like this in the village. Now, what do you think the middle picture, that equipment, what do you think that equipment is used for? That equipment, what is it used for, Terence?
Smoking.
For smoking. Anything else besides smoking, Cara?
Barbecuing.
For barbecue, okay? You can use that for barbecue. Now, what about us in the village? If we don't have a barbecue plate? If we don't have a barbecue plate, how can we go about with cooking our food? Yes, sir, Tulanga.
Smoking.
Yeah, good. Thank you. You can smoke your food if you don't have a barbecue plate or a rack, a piece of mess wire. Some they use that. So if you don't have a barbecue plate, you can use a rack or a piece of mess wire to cook whatever you need over the fire. Okay, I'd like you quickly, among yourselves, discuss quickly of some of the things that we did not make a mention of, some facilities that we did not make a mention of, and I'd like someone to quickly tell us what that equipment is and what you use that equipment for. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to do that. Quickly in your groups. One of the equipment we did not make a mention of. And what is it used for? Which part of the cooking process? Okay, we have the first two. We will have the first two. Who is the first? Okay, quarry. After quarry, which group do we have? Group 7. Okay, group quarry, someone from group 7, and because you had your hand, so you get ready so we can go through it quickly. Quarry?
Frying pan.
Frying?
Pan.
Pan, okay. What do you use it for?
For fried food.
Okay, good, thank you. Let's have from group 7.
Serving spoon.
A serving spoon, good. What do you use it for?
Serving food.
Serving the food, good. Group 6.
Electric rice cooker.
Electric rice cooker for you who live in the cities and towns. For?
Cooking rice.
For cooking rice, okay? How about you, group 2? Quickly give us yours.
Baking tray for baking.
A baking tray for baking, very good. Thank you. Now we have a very simple activity to do, and that shouldn't take a long time. I'd like, Hayano, if you can read for us, sorry, not simple activity, but we have the importance of having resources and facilities. Importance of having resources and facilities. If you can read for us what it says there, the 3 points.
1, making cooking easier. 2, help in providing a nutritious meal. And 3, satisfy individual family members' food choices.
Very good. If you can quickly get that done. It is very important that we have the correct or the right resources and facilities available. Whatever you plan to cook, you must have the resources, you must have the facilities you need in order to cook what you have to cook. And having facilities and resources, it helps in whatever Hayano has helped to read out for us. Pass 2 down, 1 down. Pass 1 down to your friends. Get yours, pass the others down. Maka, you do the same. I've already given out your papers that you need for your lesson activity. And what we have to do is a very simple activity. Now, our activity, you have to write what you would do if you did not have the resources and the facilities that you need available to cook whatever you plan to cook. Now, in groups, you are going to discuss, and you write what you would have done if you didn't have the resources and facilities needed for a meal. Now, you have to discuss about that in your groups, and you should have only about 1 or 2 sentences to answer that question or that activity you have. What would you have done if you didn't have the resources and facilities that you need for your meal that you want to cook? You are having that. Can be 1 sentence to answer that, or 2. What would you have done if you didn't have the resources and the facilities that you needed to cook that meal? That's the question that you have to discuss about, issue that you have to discuss about quickly. You can have 1 sentence or 2 to answer that quickly. Now we will be having group 6 and 7 presenting theirs for this activity. You should be discussing it now. What would you have done if you didn't have the resources and facilities? Don't forget that you have to have the resources and facilities to cook whatever you plan to cook. If you don't have it, what would you have done? What will you do if you did not have those resources and facilities? We are also supposed to be discussing. Are we talking about it? Not Paul and you, it's to be the whole group. Now you have planned to cook a meal and you find that you don't have the resources and the facilities you need. So, what will you do now? Talk about that. Mm-hmm.
So all we need to say here, like banana leaf, you just use your hands to mix it and then put it onto the banana leaf. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Get it done. Shane, you and your friends, what have you come up with? You plan to cook a meal and you find that you don't have the resources and facilities that you need for that meal. If you find that you don't have it, what are you going to do now? What will you do? What if you go and ask and those people don't have it? Okay, talk about it quickly and have it done. Do you have yours? Okay, we have a pot for boiling food. What will you do, William? If you don't have a pot, then what do you do? Okay, talk about it and get it done quickly.
I'm in need.
Mercy, what have you come up with?
Bring on. Put the mic down.
Hot stone. So, okay, good. So That's when you find that you don't have the facilities, probably like pots or whatever, you do that. Good. Okay, have that written down. That's a good one. Karaut, what have you come up with? I want you to tell me. Oh, okay. Okay, so what was your idea?
My idea was if we had no facilities and resources, we would run. If we had gardens, we would go to the gardens, bananas, cacao, samaran, facilities for the fire. Get them put them on a fire.
Okay.
Put them on a fire.
What about you? If you are not living in the village, you are living in the city or town. Not many people have gardens. So what would you have done?
Buy food from Blackstone.
Resources is talking about money. So you cannot go to the market because you don't have the money.
We would book in.
Okay, talk about it quickly. Okay. That's okay, but make it right quickly because you're going to do your presentation. Okay, your village method. What village method are you going to use? EXA A PLE.
Did not have the right resources and facilities.
What do you do now?
Banana leaves to light.
You can just have smoking and then whoever is going to present, you do the explanation. So just write your method. Okay? You can leave it there and somebody explains it. Yes, Patrick. I don't know if I have any here too. That's Miss Godua, some missing, so finish and give it back. Okay, we'll have group 6 and 7 who haven't done any presentation of any work from the previous lessons we had. So we will be having group 6 and 7 to present what they have done for this lessons activity. So if I can have group 7 is ready, so they will present this first, and after that we have group 6. It's okay, put it there. And come over here, stand here.
For example, if we did not have a pot for boiling. For example, if we did not have a pot for boiling.
Hold your mic.
For example, if we did not have a pot for boiling food, we or you would rather use a clay pot or a bamboo for boiling our vegetables and any desired ingredients.
Okay, good, thank you. That's what group 7 have. If they don't have a clay pot, then they would use a clay pot or a bamboo. Okay, we'll have group 6, please.
And what we would do if we had no facilities and resources, we would ask for facilities and resources. But if there would be nothing, then we would improvise village style. For example, smoking fish.
Okay, group 6, they said the example they will be smoking. Now, I'd like someone from group 6 to tell us properly of smoking, what they will actually smoke. We had Diara already, so I'll have another from group 6. A male this time, please. You can stand there, give us your answer. Now you've said, group 6, you've said that you've looked around, nobody can help you. So you decided to smoke. Okay, what are you going to actually smoke? What food? All that, you did not tell us about that.
Smoking protein smoking protein like fish, when you smoke it on a wire over the fire.
Okay.
Bananas, cocoa.
Good, thank you. So that is how they will have their food cooked. Can I have one more group? Okay, let's have group 2. Okay, let's have yours here. Okay, group 2. We have Tulanga to tell us what they will do if they did not have resources and facilities.
If we had no resources and facilities, we would get them from our gardens. If we had no facilities, we would make a fire. Example, to roast bananas over a fire.
Okay, good, thank you. Now, so those are just some examples of what you would have done if you did not have the resources and facilities available when you really needed to cook whatever you plan to cook. Now let's look quickly at what resources and facilities are. Adrian, if you can tell us what resources are. What are resources? What are resources? Sorry.
Money that a family needs to buy whatever food is needed.
Good, thank you. Mic down to Brendan, and I'd like Brendan to tell us what facilities are. What are facilities?
Equipment for preparing, cooking, and serving food.
Okay, good. Now, so now we know that in order for us to cook a nutritious meal, we have to have the resources and facilities. When we don't have the resources and facilities, we find that it is very difficult. We find it hard. We may go around asking friends to borrow this and that, but people will not be happy to lend you whatever they have. So, resources and facilities determine the type of meal that you prepare. Now, I'd like Quarry, if you can tell us what our key phrase is for this lesson. Yes, Quarry, key phrase.
Resources and facility.
Okay, good, thank you. So resources and facilities. Basically on resources and facilities. Now our next lesson is going to be on action plan on a nutritious meal. Now, teachers in the receiving schools, in the previous lesson, students have written out a nutritious meal. They've written out the cooking method. They also wrote out the preparation method, and you were asked to keep those papers so your students in your classes need those papers to be given back to them. So in the next lesson, they will use that to help them to draw up their action plan. And with that, good morning, class, the receiving school students, and your teachers.
Good morning, this is what my class, and thank you for your lesson.
Receiving schools, here's your reference for the next lesson: strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and reference.